The worst episode in TV history is upon us, guys. If you want to stay tuned for a review and you don't want to blow your brains out, I would click off this video. It is Fear the Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 8. The second half premieres with the worst TV episode I've ever seen. Well, that's my opinion. Is it your opinion?
That's up there. It's definitely up there.
It is up there. We are going to discuss it. We're going to break down everything that happened. Oh wait, Nick just walks through the desert for 44 minutes. That's exactly what happens. Tell us all about the beginning of this episode. He gets his wee backpack packed for him.
So we get the maid who was at the camp or the prison or whatever the fuck it was, the church, I don't know.
The place Strand and his wee boyfriend got together.
Right, that place. So one of the maids, she gives Nick a bag and a bottle of water or whatever, and her son's playing with a football, and she's like, yo, we need to go and try and find his dad. And I guess she could have offered Nick to come with them, but Nick doesn't want to, and Nick's like, yeah, good luck finding your father, kid. They drive off, then that's it. We basically just see Nick. He begins to wander. He wanders. He is the wanderer this episode.
He's a wanderer.
It was pretty much just Nick wandering. We see him coming down this like country road, and Tijuana is 100 miles away, and Nick is going to fuck off back to TJ because that's where he's going. He's just heading to Tijuana, 100 miles in the scorching heat. Can this guy make it with one wee bottle of water? Apparently he can, so he just keeps walking. But Nick decides that he can't wait, he can't go 100 miles in one go, so he ends up staying in some like abandoned place for the night. He wakes up the following day and there's like some woman with a baseball bat and a kid, and she's like telling Nick to get away. There's like a language barrier here. She speaks Spanish, I believe, and Nick, even though he looks Mexican or looks like he knows Spanish, he doesn't know Spanish.
Pero.
He knows like 2 words, which ain't very good. He's trying to explain that, look, he's just trying to sleep here. He will leave. She's like, get out. And she starts hitting him with the baseball bat. Nick's like, I just want to grab my bag. It's got my water in there. But she continues to swing this bat at Nick, and he just leaves. He basically leaves his bag behind. He leaves his supplies behind. And he decides to keep the walk going to Tijuana, but without any water, without any supplies. And it's like, why the fuck didn't Nick just grab this bat off her and say, look, swing this at me one more time and I will bloody kill you. I'm just want my water.
Especially knowing he had a hike to Tijuana ahead of him. Absolutely ludicrous that he wouldn't fight. No, he doesn't need to fight. He just needs to defuse the situation, take his bag and leave. But what does he do? He runs, which then proceeds to, obviously, 100 kilometres in those conditions with no water. That's
a character that apparently can go out on hunts and can go out on supply runs, and he can blend in with the walkers and he can walk among them, and he's fearless and he's this and he's that. But he can't get his bag back from across the other side of the room because there's a woman with a baseball bat.
A woman who's small?
Yeah, so
she was like 4'10".
4'10" with a baseball bat probably makes her about 5'1". Anyway, Nick should have took care of this. He doesn't, so he keeps going on the road to Tijuana. He comes across a bunch of cars that are like broken down. It was weird that the roads were completely empty, and then he came across like 7, 8 cars that were just all laying. What happened here? Well, they're in the car meet. He finds one car, he looks inside, there's a walker that is still seat belted into its seat. It's trying to get at Nick. Nick opens the door, he sees a bottle of water down on the floor. He grabs the bottle of water, and it's like about maybe 2 inches of water. Fuck, no, it wasn't even 2 inches. About 2 millimeters. 2 millimeters of water.
And he doesn't even finish it in one go. That's unrealistic, man.
Yeah, he drinks it. Well, he's still quenching for thirst because he ends up like pouring it into the air and it drips it down into his mouth. Not really enough water here to help you on a 100-mile trip to TJ, unfortunately.
Tijuana.
Then he sees a radio on like the dashboard, and he's trying to reach in and grab it, but the walker's like trying to reach out and bite his hand, and it was like so fucking stupid. Why wouldn't he just hit the walker with something or use a stick or something or to like grab the radio? It's almost like he was playing a game. Oh, can I reach in and grab this before this walker grabs me?
He's got no fear of the walkers. The Nick character, man, is brutal, isn't it? It really is brutal.
So he manages to grab this radio, and then he's putting it on or whatever, and then a bunch of guys come, 3 guys come in like a truck. I don't know if they're like military or army or just like survivalists. It's hard to tell, but they approach and then they start raiding the place, and we see a couple of individual walkers walking about, and they have fun killing them. Then they hear the radio, and this spots Nick, so they see Nick, and then they decide to chase Nick and start shooting at Nick, and it's like, why are they making such a big fucking deal here out of some guy that's in the middle of the road? It's not like he's close to a potential camp or anything like this, or he's close to their base or anything like that. He's literally just one fucking guy out in the middle of the road, minding his own business, yet these three pretty much do everything they can. They chase him down, they chase him into like the desert and the like the woods, not the woods, but like fucking trees and shit, bushes, and they just chase him, and they're wasting all their ammo spraying at this Nick guy, and they're thinking, first of all, they must be shit shots because they weren't even that far away from Nick, and it's like, second of all, why are you putting so much effort into trying to kill this guy? Why are you putting so much effort into trying to shoot Nick? Well, we'll find out that these guys later on in the episode like to put a lot of fucking needless effort, and they like to waste a lot of bullets into trying to shoot things they don't need to. But Nick ends up, I think, he takes like a, I don't know if he took a shot to the knee at this point or whether he was alright, but he manages to make his way to...
He's just walking through the desert, right? He gets a cactus, he starts eating it, he vomits it up, and then he pisses in his hands and starts drinking it.
Did he actually do that?
Aye.
I missed that.
Well, just some... I mean, all could have been avoided if he just grabbed his bag.
Yeah, all could have been avoided if he grabbed his bag. Also, by the way, when he was sleeping the night before, he kept having, like, dreams with Gloria, where I believe they were like at rehab together. But for me, none of these dreams, aka or slash flashbacks, did anything. I don't see what they really did to enhance his character.
Like you've got the reveal to him from Madison that his dad's dead, but his dad wasn't. We don't even get to see his dad or anything. It's just, well, and then Madison hugs him.
That was pretty much it. Him and Gloria talked about their differences and their, them obviously being junkies, and then towards the end of the flashbacks, her parents come, then Nick's Madison comes, and she basically says, look, your dad's died, he didn't see it coming. She tells Nick, it's not your fault.
It's not your fault, Nicky boy.
That's really all we see in the flashbacks. Then Nick is, I don't know if he's passing out, or I can't remember.
I think he's just having like a sleep.
Like, yeah, then he gets woke up by a couple of dogs. These dogs start biting him. On the leg, on the like lower leg. I think he gets 2 bites. There's one on the lower leg, and the other one, I can't remember where it was, but pretty sure he got bit twice. He manages to like fend them off and jump on a RV looking
school bus or weird.
A bus or an RV.
He lies on top of it, right? He looks at the cuts, and then he looks as a magic herd in the middle of a desert, in the middle of fucking nowhere.
This was retarded. So we're like you said, in the middle of nowhere. Nothing's around. There's been no large. Yeah, we get it. The dogs are barking, but let's be real. That has not brought this horde of walkers out in that space of time. And we have like about 40 walkers, and they're all like following within close proximity of each other. It was like a trained fucking unit going into like ambush something or going into raid something. It's like, we need to keep close, keep within a certain distance. That's what it was like. It's like a military fucking raid or something like that. Like, what were these walkers doing out in the middle of here? Why were they here? Out in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's not even like this is a populated city. We're in the desert. And there's like 40 fucking walkers just walking in like a unit. Like 3x4 or something like that.
And the worst thing about, there's loads of things awful about this scene, but the dogs actually get killed by the infected. The dogs run at the infected and start going blood. Right, walkers would not catch dogs. Look how open a space this is, man.
Well, hold on. First of all, the dogs were too busy biting the first 2 walkers. So you could argue they got bit because they refused to let go. That's not the priority here. Priority is that there shouldn't be that many fucking walkers.
Oh, no, there shouldn't be, but I mean...
You're making it as if the walkers chased the dogs down and fucking caught them. No, you dick, that's not what happened, right? The show's pish, but let's not lie and pretend to make it pish.
Dogs would not get killed here.
I disagree. The dogs were too busy fucking biting on, and if they're not letting go, then that gives the rest of the walkers that aren't getting bit a perfect chance just to reach down and...
Normally when dogs feel pain, they'll let go of the bite.
Yeah, but you could argue at this point, like, there was too many.
Alright, maybe.
And you say dogs feel pain. What about pit bulls? They fucking latch on to you.
This isn't pit bull. Pit bulls are the devil dogs.
I agree there. Like, but my point is, it's like So, fuck, you ever seen them bite a dog and people are trying to get them off?
You see, the Wikipedia tries to explain why the herd appeared, and it's because of the dogs barking. We're in the middle of a fucking desert. Like, literally. This isn't an exaggeration, we're actually in the middle of a desert.
My problem is, I'm not necessarily sure if the dogs would have went over and attacked 40 of these scary looking fucking people. I think the dogs would have went over, barked, and then when they got within close proximity to like maybe touch the dogs would have backed off. I think that would have been more likely to happen.
The dogs did a Chris Benoit diving headbutt towards all the walkers.
Yeah, like, when you look at the dog in the season 1, I mean, that was more cautious about...
I think these are more like...
Wild dogs?
They are a bit wild, I'd say. Nick, though...
Well, that wasn't the worst part about this scene. The dogs get bit, the dogs get ate, but I guess the walkers weren't that hungry because they didn't eat all the dogs. And then Nick sees a great opportunity. He slides off the RV, and then you want to describe what happens here because he does a weird crawl. Like
he does the weirdest crawl. You tried to describe this. Oh, he's only doing it because his legs. No, to me, he was mimicking the exact crawl this other walker.
No, it looked a bit like it. Looked like a bit like the zombie that was attacking Ellie's mum in the finale of Last of Us.
Aye, yeah,
the one that was crawling. So it looked a bit like that. We get Nick. He starts crawling, and I get it, he's got a sore leg or whatever, but he starts crawling over to the dog and starts fucking eating the dog. Like, eating the remains of the bloody dog. And then the herd of walkers are walking away, but for some reason, a handicap walker that can't walk, really, it's just crawling. It's not really a walker, it's a crawler.
And then
it spots Nick.
He does this mad manoeuvre where he jumps onto its back.
I thought he was going to rape it.
Yeah,
It looked
like
fucking weird. But he done this thing. It was like as if he was in MMA, and he was going for like he's going for the top position here, and then he manages to like take his belt off, and then he crawls away and he tourniquets his leg or whatever. What did I call it? Tourniquets his leg.
Turn this fed off, man. This show's fucking shite.
So that's his leg. I wouldn't say it's fixed, but then he catches up with another group of walkers and they're back on the main road to Tijuana. Now, I don't know, was this the same walkers that ate the dog?
It might not be, right, but again, he's called himself Infected Blood. That is about the 15th time this season.
It's been overdone. The more you do this shit, the more it loses appeal. So, yeah, he's walking with these walkers, and then we see the army guys, those 3 guys, whatever they are, we see them again in their vehicle. And they drive up, they stop, and they get out, and I guess they decide that they're going to start picking off all these walkers, and it's like, you know what? I mean, there's a lot of walkers here, you don't necessarily need to take them out, like, why not just drive around them, or, I mean, I'm sure you could take another route. There's no real reason for them to kill all these walkers, but they decide they're going to do that anyway, so they're shooting, they're wasting a lot of ammo, they're getting some of them, and some of the walkers beside Nick are literally getting headshotted, and the blood is literally... going all over Nick, and Nick's having to dodge and like bob his head like he's in a boxing match here trying to defend to dodge these bullets. It was like fucking stupid at this point. And then what the main guy realizes that Nick is in the crowd. He sees Nick, and I mean, why the fuck would they really care if they see Nick? They hell bent on killing him.
But this guy drops all his bullets. He drops all his magnums.
He drops his bullets. The other guy's still got his bullets and his gun. So the guy drops his bullets. You see the walkers getting closer and closer and closer. And it's not like they are trapped from behind or they're barricaded in here. They can literally just retreat. But no, the guy fumbles on the ground trying to pick up his bullets. Then by the time he picks up his bullets, loads them in and goes to shoot. One of the walkers bites him on the arm. He gets surrounded. The other guy, I guess, was just being fucking retarded, and he let the walkers get too close to start biting him. And the third guy just jumps back in. Or I think he was already in the vehicle, to be honest. I think he was like shooting from the vehicle. And then he just does a 180 and leaves these two, and these two get eaten alive. And it's like, what the actual fuck?
I would say this is one of the worst scenes in The Walking Dead. And cross everything. How do you die here, right? See the guy's trying to reload. At least you could argue for his point of view, he's trying to reload. Even though it's stupid.
He doesn't need to.
No, he doesn't. He could have just picked up his bullets and stood back 10 feet.
What's the other guy's excuse?
Exactly. That's the worst one, right? That is absolutely the worst one.
Unless you're cornered or trapped, how the fuck can you just stand there, not retreat, not keep the distance, and allow walkers? It's different if they're running walkers. But see See, in the Walking Dead universe, man, there's no reason to get killed like this. There's just really not. So the walkers do their thing. They continue on. Nick, I guess, has walked too much. He can't continue on. He falls. He's on his back. His legs kind of give way. But it starts to rain, and he starts to drink in the rain. And then we have like these three people that are in the
Louisiana.
aye, whatever. They're in the desert. They're looking on at Nick, and it appears to be some woman who's in charge. Typical. She's got two men with her. The men are like, we should go and help him, and she's like, nah, we ain't helping him. So I don't know what that's all about. So they don't decide to help Nick.
Nick then makes it to Tijuana eventually because, you know, the water, it gave him the energy, damn. I believe this is Tijuana. I feel like the significance of showing Tijuana on the sign means this is where he's made it to because it looked like a pretty big city, right? So how long has passed here for Nick to make it to Tijuana?
100 miles in this heat. Barely any fucking water.
Limping, not exactly at full speed. I mean, I think it's just ridiculous, to be honest, that this guy's made it to Tijuana.
I would have to assume it's took him nearly a week.
Yeah, literally nearly a week, right? He gets there.
Well, hold up, wait, that's assumed. Probably not, like, probably considering he was injured.
Yeah, no, you're...
At least a week anyway.
Aye, we'll call it 10 days, guys, right? He gets there, he finds some, like, water to drink, and then, as he's wrapping his wound with duct tape, what happens? Louisiana, and Francisco walk in. He's, oh, it was Pero bite.
Pero, dog bit me. I then bit dog back. I eat dog.
Yep. We then fade the black. We then cut the doctor's lounge. We've got Alejandro. He's treating Nick's wound in an infirmary. Nick is then able to get up. The guy said a pretty good line, didn't he? What did he say? Something about the dead.
Ah, fuck, it was pretty good.
It was pretty good, but you know what?
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it, find out what he said.
Might need to.
Quote the episode.
He tells Nick to go outside, and then Nick goes outside. He finds himself in a colonia. Apparently, this is a walled survivor community, and it's almost as if there is no apocalypse. And I feel like by this point, this is a bit ridiculous. I don't know. I feel like when you watch The Walking Dead, right, in the earlier seasons, you felt like there was just nothing like this that was possible. Like, yo, I know Woodbury, right, was a community, but I think it was like 70 people, and it was like 4 streets that weren't that big. You get this sort of feeling here that this is like half of Tijuana.
Tijuana, Mexico.
And that's where the episode ends, guys. And guess what? It's a 0 for me. Because it is one of the worst episodes I've seen in TV history.
It's a 0 for me as well. I can't say anything good about this episode.
Yeah, like, if this was to make you like the Nick character, how could it make eating dogs, smearing blood all over himself, man? Just... They fell under a trap here that they think that Nick's good enough to carry an episode. Spoiler alert, nobody in this show's good enough to carry an episode. That's the reality of it. I don't know if they're going to give that wee piece to Morgan in a few seasons' time. Here, Morgan, you can carry it, but I'm giving it a 0. Are you giving it a 0?
I've already gave it a 0.
Boom, 2 big fat zeros. I don't see how this show's ever getting above a 5 again. That's scary biscuits, guys. But anyway, till then, peace.